How are things shaping up for today, though?
I don't know. Hey, Juan, how are things shaping up for today?
It's going to be a transition day today. We've talked about a weak frontal boundary coming in, and today is the day it's going to happen. And we're going to see temperatures warm up, though, quite significantly before the frontal boundary comes in. Right now, it is warm and stuffy outdoors. It is 66 degrees with an east-southeasterly wind at only 5 miles per hour. Lots of 60s on the map this morning. The coolest spot that I'm observing here is 61 over in George West, but almost 70 degrees still from Robstown down into the Kingsville area. And again, as I mentioned, even the water temperature has warmed up a little bit at 64. We have light winds across the area later on this afternoon. These will pick up around 7 to 14, but as we head into tonight, once the frontal boundary is through, and especially going into the weekend, next week, wind is going to be a big part of our forecast moving forward. Haven't received a whole lot of rainfall, unfortunately, of course, not for yesterday. For the month of March, only 0.07 of an inch of rain. So for the year 2021, we've received 1.81 inches. That is almost 2 inches below normal for this time of year. And the U.S. Drought Monitor released their latest map here yesterday afternoon, and a good chunk of the coastal bend is under severe drought across the area. The farther west that you go, the more extreme to almost exceptional it is. And even here in Corpus Christi, we were abnormally dry, but now we've gone to a moderate drought condition. So we are in desperate need of some of that rainfall. We have an opportunity this morning to get a few little sprinkles, but unfortunately, though, it's not going to be too significant. So for today, we'll look for relatively light winds all day long. As I mentioned, 7 to 14, but that is going to be increasing for tonight, going at about 15 to 25. And then once we head on into the weekend, we'll look for those east-northeasterly winds. That's going to bring in some of that cooler air, so not bad, but again, close to 20 miles an hour, and then picking up further as you head closer into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, pretty much all of next week. So 66 now. We'll see that temperature drop just a little bit as we head to about 7 or 8 o'clock. Notice by 10 or 11 we start to pick up a few little showers, a few little sprinkles across the area, but still holding on to a southerly component to the wind, and the wind remaining light. But then as we head into the afternoon, about noontime, we can still see a little bit of a stray shower here or there, and we are going to get into the 80s despite the frontal boundary already coming through at about 2 to 3. Notice the wind shift right there. The winds remain light. The cooler air is lagging way behind that frontal boundary, so we're still going to get into the lower 80s this afternoon, and the inland parts of the coastal bend will be into the lower to middle 80s across the region. 85 over in Robstown, but still staying into the 60s and 70s right near the coastline. Pollen count for today: grass is moderate, tree is moderate as well, and the mold pollen is on the high end for today. Ragweed came in low as well. The bays will start off smooth to slightly choppy. That'll be increasing. So will the seas. Use caution. Lots of warm air out ahead of our frontal boundary. We're on the warm side of this front right now. Cooler air, of course, behind it, and you can see temperatures in the 40s and 50s there. We're holding on to 60 degrees. Upper level low continues to kick off towards the northeast, and again, as I mentioned, there comes the frontal boundary here as we track it for you. Only a couple of stray showers, and then as we head towards this evening and on into the weekend, we'll look for cooler conditions. So 68 on Saturday, 70 on Sunday. Then as we head into next week, we start a warming trend, highs back into the 70s and 80s. Paulo.
Thank you, Juan.